What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast. I had to pause it because the game started without me. It went on without me. It's the story of my life. I dither, I slow, I drag my heels, and things go on without me. Storyline here is that forge ahead, because you won't always have time. Let's keep playing.
He'd have to explore choices he'd never made before he could figure it all out, though. And with that, the book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. And he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose.
I was going to say, I don't know if I can skip some of the stuff we've already seen before. It might make this flow a little bit better.
Were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
I don't think I can, though.
Had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Let's start. This time around, I want to try the options with the Iblis Stone. That's the storyline that's been the most interesting to me, and I want to find out what happens if we betray the Iblis Stone and we try to destroy it rather than embracing its power.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time, Bernardo was sure he could master it. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting.
And just so.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away. Were all these things the Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
What do I want to upgrade? Well, the Frost Sword is like my favorite sword in the whole game. Don't get me wrong, I like the Void Blade just based on its design. It looks badass, and I love the fact that it's like a long curved scimitar katana thing that we can use against our enemies, and I love the way he wields it too, like the fatalities and whatnot are really cool with it. I use this one more though, but let's go with the Shadow Blade.
It sliced the wings off a fly in the air.
It did get sexier.
It's sort of mean, really.
It grew protrusions. That's how you know it got more powerful. Like, out they go. Congratulations, your sword is more powerful by nature of crystalline protrusions. Alright, so let's have a look here. We gotta get to the Iblis Stone as fast as possible. As I recall, this temple was pretty long and arduous.
Here. Last time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul.
That's a pirate's favorite kind of journey. The arduous one. Is this go anywhere over here? It kind of looks like it does, but I don't think that it actually do. Let's go down a little bit deeper into the dungeon. Luckily, I'm gonna fight.
Emperor called the Ravens.
Fight me on an elevator, Streets of Rage style. That's cool. I love Streets of Rage. You guys know, every now and again, I know they aren't popular. Everybody hates it when I do side-scrolling beat-em-up games, but I'm such a sucker for side-scrolling beat-em-up games, and they're so rare nowadays. I'm honestly really surprised that nobody's made like a really, really good one in a long, long time. I know there was some open source guys that were working on like Streets of Rage 4 or something like that, but I think it fell apart. It looked really cool though from the screenshots they put together, but I think the project actually ended up dying before it could be completed. Ooh, 120 combo right there.
Cawing in frustration, they were still searching for a way in. Good. And he hadn't come too late.
Oh, I got this now. Got this now, Ravens. You got nothing on me. Oh, he tried to hit me. That's so Raven. We got another Buffy bot thing over here. Yeah, that got a little hairy for a second. That got a little nastier than I expected it to get. No!
He smelt burnt fur. His.
I pushed the button twice, and the second I felt my finger push it twice, I knew. I knew exactly what was going to happen, because you have to actually queues up attacks. You guys haven't played the game yet, but once you start playing, it queues your attacks up once you start on a particular target so that it forces you to have precision.
Something useful in these things, didn't there?
And within a small variance, you can cut yourself off and change who you're attacking mid-stroke and stuff like that. And it's actually very, very responsive, almost to the point where it makes some of the combat easy. But every now and again, you'll know that you pushed in the same direction twice and swung in the same direction twice. And before the action goes off, you just know you're screwed. You're just like, no! I can feel the Great Phillips turning. We've already read that one over there, so we don't need it. I'm going to run across to this side. We'll slot on open this guy. There's not a whole lot of sword upgrades left to go with, though, so technically I could leave chests behind and just not care about it. We'll pick up the difference later on. Ah.
Easy to dodge, but boy do they sting if you didn't pay attention.
Or if you got lazy and you just wanted to go faster. Ugh. Makes them attack so fast. And like, I really should not care. Like, sincerely, I should not. There we go. That should get our little shieldy friend out of the way. That'll finish them off. My concern is that that area is just much, much too small to fight inside of. And so I'd rather not even deal with it in the first place. That was not our... Yeah, an imperfect combat, I think, would be the perfect way to describe that.
There was an inscription. No spitting.
Like, no spitting off the pedestal or on the pedestal? I know a lot of countries have, like, laws against spitting. You're just not allowed to do it. I don't know. I hawk loogies all the time. I'd be getting in all kinds of trouble in other people's countries. Then again, I'm low class, so... I've never really tried to be anything else. In classiness, you're either born with it or trained into it. And unfortunately, it just didn't take with me. So you have to forgive my relative lack of manners. I am an urban ogre. A very, very small urban ogre. What are you?
On this one. So it hadn't saved its owner.
Level 3 energy on kill. That'll be great. It looks like it regenerates to a lesser extent, but I don't know if that's based on like progress, how quickly you work your way through the level, or what else comes from that. I don't know if you get the bonus, like if it can actually drop loot if you teleport through that stuff. I'm probably not going to be focusing too heavily, by the way, while we're on the subject. I'm probably not going to be focusing too heavily on treasure, just because... Ooh, I got double tapped right there, and I jumped right into it. Wasn't no way around that one.
I wondered where he could find a snack. He was feeling a bit peckish.
I have trouble caring about those flame traps, because I can just heal through it now that I have a ridiculous source of mana.
Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously, the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
And I believe this one right here is where we'll... Actually, I think there was more to this one. I think there was more to it. I'm going to give myself some further health, although that does make it more difficult for us to level up. Yeah, there was a little bit more to this dungeon, but I remember the last time we took a hiatus, like right here, and then it turned out the level was over right after, and then I just felt like an asshole for not finishing the level.
Ronaldo hated cannon traps. Also, who reloaded these things anyway?
They aren't really cannons. They look like laser crystals to me. Alright, we'll activate you to keep my beautiful fur safe in the case that any of these fireballs decide to lick on by. Help me with the grooming and all that. And there's the Iblis.
It was a stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. I can make you mighty. Who said that? It was the stone, eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Skyripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the Transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. "It's the core," said the stone anxiously. But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Oh, there's a new option. The Iblis Stone. He knew it came at a cost, a clever way to have the power without its evil. But Renato's clever plans did have a tendency to backfire. Well, that one right there is trying to put me in the right direction. So if we wanted to complete, so if we look at our stories over here, if we wanted to complete this little section of the wheel on this side, it would show us how to do it. That's what that little thing means. The little blue lock means that if we want to get towards the final confrontation, that's how we do it. And so I'm going to go along with that, I think. Although I am curious about... the game wasn't going to mock me. Like, I'm just exploring storylines at this point. But the game mocks you. It's like, oh, definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and hope for a different result. I was like, actually, I made different choices along the way in hopes that it would maybe change things around. It's not my fault that those things weren't good results. It's just I tried new things. It's not like I did the exact same thing over again. Let's destroy it. I really wish I knew what I should do here. Like, I don't know if my audience wants to see the storyline advance or if they just want to see, like, different options. Let's advance the storyline.
Listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies. As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun. Was it the time of the lost gods before the Transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? Feed souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it. This was going to be interesting.
Stone, why are you acting so thirsty right now? You give away your motives when you act thirsty like this. Yeah, they thought they were going through on that southwest side. But nope, they're getting dealt with. Oh, look at that. There's a... Apparently, I walked right past a 3 chest that last time, maybe even twice, and just didn't even care. Fine by me. It's just 3 ore. I mean, who cares? I've only got 1 sword left to upgrade anyway, so... Not really. I was hoping the upgrade system would be a little bit more in-depth, too, to kind of support the fact that there's so many storyline things to go through. But once you finish all your upgrades and everything, what's your motive to keep working on the extra cards and, like, finishing... Aside from just seeing all the resolutions, I guess, like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. But one would hope that the content would at least match up in duration with the amount of stuff you can do, you know? Right now it kind of feels like, to me, the amount of content in the game is lined up with completing the 4 truths rather than actually, like, playing everything to its culmination, which is what I want to do because I'm a completionist like that. I want to see all the different paths and where they all go. Like, you ever with a choose-your-own-adventure novel go to, like, a random page... And it's a storyline you've never seen before, even though you spent hours with that choose-your-own-adventure novel.
No match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
But anyways, you ever, like, choose a random page in a choose-your-own-adventure novel when you were younger?
What's behind?
And it lands, like, in a random location that you've never been able to get to that story before, and then you got to deconstruct how it all got to that, and it's through, like, incredibly complex, like, actions, and just... I've noticed that when people do choose your own adventure novels, myself especially, I tend to favor certain options. Treasure Hunter level 3. Don't think we're going to need that one too much. Yeah, because I can hear the comments coming, I'll pick up this chest. I used to do that every now and again. When I got bored with the Choose Your Own Adventure novel, I would just turn to a random page and see if it was something I had seen or hadn't seen before. And if it was something I hadn't seen, then the fun to me...
Worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
But anyways... Then the fun for me would be deconstructing and trying to figure out how the book had gotten to that resolution without picking the choices that I had done previously. There was a big treasure in here somewhere. I think it was behind those boxes.
Hey, how do you tell if someone's far away or just really small?
I don't know. What a weird thing to discuss right now. And I think it lets you skip this entire challenge, too. Critical 3. I actually think they might have done better if you had to unlock the stones, but then after that you had to use ore to like make them stronger or something like that. It might have stretched it out a little bit further.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
Are you here to surrender?
She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone.
And I've missed you too, love.
He chuckled. She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
It's fine, she can run. It's not gonna help her though. It's definitely not gonna save her. Nah, I'm just kidding, we're not gonna kill her this time around. Doing something a little bit different in this playthrough. It's hard to time those perfect strikes on this one. Once you got it upgraded a little bit. We already looked at that one. That's going to be the one where her father's trying to convince her to go to the gallows willingly. Yeah, it looks like the red chest, once you've gathered all the stones and everything, they don't produce anything further. I don't know. Maybe like a DLC or like a patch upgrade or something would help out with that. Add a little bit more content for the people that want it. I'm going to try and stay away from Signor Explodey over here. Just because I don't feel like dealing with his shenanigans, but we're kind of like close to the edge right now, so I don't know. Those guys teleport away after you get a couple good swings on them. Oh, they tried to go round robin on me right there. The robin has been eating well. It's round, get it? I don't know. Some of the birds that I saw at Disneyland were like, I went to Disneyland the last week, and some of the birds I saw were the gnarliest thing ever because you could tell they were eating totally like carnival food every single day.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way.
Kill her,
Whispered the stone.
You cannot win your rebellion without it.
Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
So it looks like if I want to unlock a storyline, I gotta feed it to the I think all of this is gonna culminate on top of the mountain. Alright, feed her to the stone.
With a flick of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more. And then the light went out of them. Renato felt amazing. Power was rushing into him like water from a burst dam. Oh, such brilliance, exulted the Iblis stone. Tasty. Renato returned to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly. It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done.
Indeed. It said that I had to go this way for the storyline. I'm thinking it just wants me to pick that mountaintop option. That seems like almost every single story has a point at which it's like, go to the mountain. And I'm betting that's the one path we've missed. Because going to the mountain seems lame. Who wants to go to a mountain?
It was beautiful. He'd never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke, under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there.
Also getting more treasure. Because everybody loves treasure. We're not going to mess with any of the other doors. We're just going to try and mash this out as quickly as possible. Since we already have... Since we've already got all the upgrades anyways, there's not a whole lot of point in running down all the random red chests. Since it seems like they're just going to drop health and magic from here on in. Done. Up some stairs, work on those calves and those thighs.
Was Lapino? What was he doing here? Bernardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old buddy! Please don't kill me! Why would I kill you? Asked Bernardo, although he had been thinking about it. Well, you've become... look, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep? I suppose you wanted, Bernardo said, and poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Oh, damn it.
Oh no, he stabbed me twice, so I've stabbed him twice now. Seems like a fair exchange. I didn't really want to be evil in this playthrough, but we'll resist the stone.
Leap of faith, said the inscription.
Caw! As Assassin's Creed would say. Sing! With Ezio, the Auditore, the coolest, and his uncle Mario. So what do we have over here? We should be all done on these. I say they should add like 5 more levels to the stones and just let them become totally overpowered. It's something to work on while you get like in between the storyline tidbits, you know? Trying to keep them all on camera because once they get off camera, that's when they get tough to like parry. As long as they're on camera, I'm okay. It's when they get me from off screen that it's like a free hit, basically. Trying to mess up my combo. I saw that. I'm over here trying to get these XP points, and he's making it difficult.
Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the Far Speaker Toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. Haha! The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Yes! Applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his Far Speaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino.
Yeah, let's go to the mountains. It isn't telling us what advances us here, but that's the Lapino option. That's obviously the option for what's her name. So let's go to the mountain.
What are you doing? Demanded the Iblastone. I need to think, Renato told it. You're not good at thinking, said the Iblastone. You're good at eating. It's what you do. It's your destiny. But he set sail for the mountains, where he could be alone with his thoughts.
Huzzah. I don't think we've done the mountain option as of yet. I think this is actually the first time in all the playthroughs that option's come up that we've taken it. And don't think I haven't noticed that it was there. It's just we haven't gotten to it
Why
yet.
were there Raven Scouts here in the empty mountains? Was there nowhere he could find peace and quiet? There were other ravens here too. Shadowy ones, transparent, lining the path. Ghosts. They cawed as he passed, but they didn't try to stop him. Spectators. Had he really killed that many ravens?
We've killed a lot. It's been the main endeavor of this entire quest. My name is Splattercat. We're out of time for the day. Sorry to leave you wanting, but I will see you all in the next episode of Stories, The Path of Destiny. If you wanted to get the game for yourself, look down below. I'll have the Steam link for you. Bye, everybody.